rejoice, exult, be joyous. This is the theme celebrated all over the world for this Sunday. This Sunday is known as Gaudati, which is a Latin word for rejoice. Even among the Anglican Communion, Lutheran, mainline Protestant churches celebrate this Sunday. We are called to rejoice as Christians in preparing to welcome Christ. However, I chose as our theme for reflection today as leveling the mountain. The gospel of today is a continuation of last Sunday's gospel reading, where Luke puts forth the significant role of John the Baptist. He described John as appearing in a desert and gathering a crowd around him. He challenges the crowd to show him evidence of their repentance. The evidence of their repentance should be made known or should be seen in their action. And then challenging these crowds today, we have it as different groups of people came to meet John the Baptist to ask him what they are to do. The first group that met him, John replied to them by saying that any of them standing before him who have 2 tunics should give one out. And anyone who has so much to eat should do same, to share with those who have nothing to eat. I put this question to all of us out there. How is the sharing of our community goods done? Does the common good benefit only a few, or it benefits all? So, let us level out the mountain of accumulated wealth or stolen wealth in the form of public funds, so that that which is meant for the common good will reach out to all. There are some of us, in the course of this year, since the beginning of this year, we have shoes, trousers, shirts in the closets that we have not worn. Please level it out and give it out to one who really needs it. And then we have the second group that came to John the Baptist. These are called the publicans. They are actually tax collectors. These people will inflect the taxes and then remit whatever they are asked to remit to their masters. The difference belongs to them. And how do they get this difference? They inflict a pain on the vulnerable so that they are made to pay more than what they have to pay. And from that difference, they get their own profit. That is corruption. We have business people out there, especially for us in Nigeria these days. It is Christmas. So people go to interior villages and buy goods as cheap as possible and come back to the cities and inflate the prices. Let us level out corruption so that even the poor of the poorest have something to put on their table. And then the last group that came to John the Baptist are the soldiers. You might imagine that John would tell the soldiers to abandon their military career. Instead, he tells them not to take advantage of their positions in order to cause pain, suffering to the vulnerable. You know, something interesting is that soldiers in those days were paid very low. So in order for them to get something out of their salary, they would, frighten the people with their arms, impose hard tax on the vulnerable in order to get, something to go home with. John tells them not to take advantage of their position in order to frighten people. In other words, the soldiers in today's reading reflect those who abuse their power in various positions. We have those who treat their subordinates in offices badly because they are subordinates. And there's something interesting in the Church of Nigeria. We have those rich people who would come to church and donate generously, and yet They are not able to pay salaries, wages to their employees. So, from today's reflection, we have these values of sharing, justice, and leveling out corruption, so that we will be joyous Christians. We would rejoice, as the prophet Zephaniah said in the first reading. We shout for joy. And St. Paul, in his letter to the Philippians, today will say, rejoice. And again I say, rejoice to be a Christian, and a Christian that shares and does not have hands in corruption and does justly in all their affairs.